should be corpses, I know. But here we are.
Last week, I shared some news with you guys about Shogun's future. According to Deadline, Hiroyuki Sanada, who plays Toranaga on the show, signed a deal to return for more Shogun. The comments section was divided, to say the least. While some of you argued that this was welcomed news, some of you were not so happy as you thought FX was milking the Shogun name for money. After that video, I didn't think we would hear much about Shogun for a while, since I thought the producers and the writers would also have to be on board for season 2, and that would take time. But I was wrong. More Shogun news came out recently. It looks like the series is actually aiming for more future seasons. Yes, plural. Let's talk about the renewal details and who's on board for the next seasons, as well as what the plot is going to be about. Let's go. You will actually love what I'm about to say because it will give us some comfort about our quality concerns for a potential second season. It turns out that FX and Hulu are working with the estate of James Clavell, yes, the esteemed author of the Shogun novel, to develop more seasons of Shogun. Coming together, this team is creating a group of writers who will develop 2 more seasons of the show. If you didn't know, Michaela Clavell, James Clavell's daughter, was a part of Shogun Season 1 as an executive producer, ensuring that the story stayed loyal to her father's story. Now, Michaela will also continue working as an executive producer on the future seasons of the show, according to the latest news. Shogun's co-creators Justin Marks and Rachel Kondo are also on board for future seasons, which is another piece of news we recently got. So Hiroyuki Sanada, as well as these 3 names that helped make Shogun, will be returning for more, which gives me lots of hope, to be honest. I would not want to change this team since they proved to be great at what they did with the first season. But apparently, despite them being on board, this is not a formal renewal by FX. There's no production date and none of the other actors are known yet. It looks like FX will try to see if new stories can be written without a novel present, as the first season covered James Clavell's Shogun already. With the estate's help, they will try to continue the story based on Japanese history. As you must know, Clavell doesn't really talk more about Toranaga or John Blackthorne in any of his other novels. He does have other books in his Asian saga, but they all focus on other periods, and they wouldn't involve the character Toranaga, but we already know that Sanada is returning as the character to the show. So it's not difficult to guess that a second season would continue after the events of the book, exploring Toranaga's reign as Shogun, or before the events of season 1. I will talk about the most possible plotlines in a minute. In summary, Season 2 and 3 are in the works, but FX is hesitating to make an official announcement before the writers figure out what to do with the story. I'll be sharing more news as soon as they come out. Now, let's see what the show could focus on and who can they bring as characters. First of all, Season 2 could work as a prequel showing us Akechi, Mariko's father, and his betrayal. This way, we would see Toranaga and a younger Mariko, although she will need to look a lot younger. I don't think that will be a problem for Anna Sawai though. If this ends up being the route they take, we could see Toranaga, Mariko, Buntaro, and Hiromatsu. I want to say Yabushige as well, but I'm not sure if he was with Toranaga around that time. I think it's highly likely though. What do you guys think about this? To me, Yabushige and Mariko are should-haves for potential seasons. The show could also focus on what happened after the Battle of Sekigahara. If this ends up being the case, we can see more of John Blackthorne and his relationship dynamic with Toranaga. A decade after the battle, the real-life Toranaga fights against Lady Uchiba and Taiko's heir in the siege of Osaka, an instrumental battle that directly solidifies him as shogun. I think this siege could also very well be the subject of an entire season, if not 2. This would allow Toranaga, John Blackthorne, Buntaro, Lady Uchiba, and maybe even Fuji to appear in episodes, although Yabushige wouldn't be a possibility unless he returns as a zombie. Right now, I am both hyped and scared. I think one of the main things that made Season 1 great was James Clavell's novel and the story and the characters that he created. The writers won't have that for future seasons. Even though Japanese history is vast and is a great source, it is an incredible challenge to directly adapt it into a TV show. That's why I'm a little scared about the prospects of the show. Still, the fact that they're still working with the James Clavell estate is giving me hope. How do you feel about this recent news? If you want to learn about the Shogun cast, you can watch this video. I shared a few interesting facts about them. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Shogun news. See you soon.